Well, the State Department says more than 1,000 U.S. citizens and their family members have escaped the fighting in Gaza, but there are still hundreds of Americans who remain. And that's not including the hostages. White House correspondent Owen Jensen reports. Owen.
Tracy, tonight the Biden administration says it's doing all it can to free the American hostages held by Hamas. And today, as President Joe Biden left the White House to do some campaign fundraising, I tried asking him about it.
Sir, the American hostages, do you believe they're alive?
Headed to the Boston area for some campaign fundraising, President Joe Biden did not take questions upon leaving the White House this morning, walking towards Marine One.
Good afternoon.
But over at the U.S. State Department, spokesman Matthew Miller updates reporters on the Israel-Hamas war, and more specifically, the fate of the hostages.
If there's no ceasefire, can they still be rescued?
We are working every day to try and return hostages. Whether there is a pause or not, we will continue to work to try and secure the release of all those American citizens.
The White House National Security Advisor recently met with the families of hostages.
We continue to do everything in our power under the president's leadership and guidance with his direct involvement and participation to try to bring all of these Americans home as well as all of the hostages, and we will not rest until we have succeeded in doing so.
Jake Sullivan says there cannot be another terror attack like October 7th, which he warns Hamas wants to repeat again and again. Israel has already started dismantling Hamas's extensive military infrastructure, including labyrinths of tunnels and bunkers, as well as rocket launchers and sniper nests. For now, the nearly 2-month-long war has no end in sight. The United States, Qatar, and Egypt, which mediated the earlier ceasefire that came to an abrupt end last week, say they're working on a longer truce.
We are 4 or 5 days into this campaign in the South. It's just started again after the pause. It's too early to make, I think, overall assessments about how it's going. But certainly I know for civilians on the ground, conditions are incredibly difficult.
The U.S. State Department also took action today against people responsible for violence in the West Bank. They will face U.S. visa restrictions, travel bans. The State Department says the policy designed to promote peace, security, and stability in the West Bank. At the White House, Owen Jensen, EWTN News Nightly.